another segment of O.T.O Live. We are O.T.O, and O.T.O stands for Overcoming the Odds. Thank you, Ty, Tokyo. It's an insider. So today's topic, yo,
spicy.
It's a good one. Why is it a good one? Because it's something that I'm sure everybody can relate to one way or the other. The topic is relationships versus hookups. So bear with us as we go into this very, very hot topic. Remember, this is O.T.O Live. Everything is candid. Our opinions are our opinions. Our perspectives are our perspectives. And I guarantee you, by the time we're done, we're going to touch on everybody's perspective in the world, because that's just how this works with 5 different people in the world.
Yeah, no.
So basically, the idea is, in 2017, which is where we're at right now, we're noticing a trend. A trend where there are more people hooking up than getting in actual relationships. And when we say hookups versus relationships, we're talking about people not putting titles on things. So in the past, it was a thing to say, you're my man, I'm your girl, and this is a thing. And everybody needs to know. And even if they don't know, if they ask, it will be told to them that this is a thing. This is our title, this is who we are, respect it. There were marriages that lasted. Marriages that didn't just happen because it was a thing to do. Marriages that were lasting for 30, 40, 50 years and on. But we're noticing that nowadays there's way more divorce, and there's way less people trying to say, you're my man and I'm your girl. But there are so many people in this world that want the girls sitting next to them to be something in their life. Whether it's a friend with benefit,
Booty call.
a booty call, one night stand. There's a lot of different phrases and terms.
Side
the
chick.
baby mom, the baby dad. They want to be the sugar mama, the sugar daddy.
The side chick.
The side chick syndrome. There's so many different titles nowadays that it's like you don't even know where you fit.
But got potential to be the side chick.
Right. There's a lot of scenarios. And there's even scenarios that it's like, you know what, to not complicate it, I don't even want to put a title on it, whether it's one night, whatever.
The anonymous.
The anonymous. So today we're going to dispel a lot of these myths, explain why we think this is a thing, explain our perspectives on why society these days prefer hookups over relationships. And remember, not everybody feels this way. I'm sure we're going to have come across somebody in this conversation that says, I support love. So, with that being said, let's start with you, Turner.
Yes.
Let's start with you.
Yeah.
One, are you currently, what is your current love life, relationship life like? And what is...
You can talk. You can do it. Let's go. I'm ready.
We're going to try to get through this episode, and we will.
It's going to be challenging.
What is your current love life like, and what has it been like? And I guess, what do you want it to be like, and why is it not like that?
I'm currently single. Not dating or talking to anybody at the moment. There's been a couple of situations, I guess you can say. And I define a situation as somebody I come across, we exchange numbers, have a couple of conversations, may or may not hang out, but it goes nowhere for whatever reason. I was in a relationship for 4 years that ended early of last year. I've been single since then, no relationship. I'm honestly at a point now, I enjoy, conversations and everything like that, but I really truly prefer dating, talking, and getting to know one person. I'm at a place in my life now where I'm focused on the build and the growth, and I can't build with somebody if I have many people around me. So I prefer just building with one person. At some point, I do want to get married, and the next step after that for me would be having kids. So that is in my plans, but it hasn't been that way, honestly. It's not to throw shade on one gender or the next, but there's a lot of, I used to think that people are consistent at being inconsistent. And, that just means like, oh, you're just practicing bad habits, not, you know, not texting back, not no phone calls, not making time for things. But then I grew up and realized people make time for the things they want. People are always on their phone, so there's no way that you cannot text somebody back or call somebody back within you know, a couple of days period of time span. It's just more so a matter of people being honest with themselves and then being honest with the person that they're entertaining, whether it's conversation or dating. Like, just, it's nothing wrong with being straight up like, yo, listen, you know, I exchanged your number because I thought you was attractive, but I'm not seeking for this to go any further. Or, you know, I'm just looking for, you know, another friend. I'm looking for friends with benefits. Like, just, I feel like just be honest with yourself about where you are, and then be honest with the person that you're entertaining, or that's in your space at the moment. And a lot of things would be a lot different.
So it sounds like you are in the lane, have been in the lane of wanting a relationship, but you tend to end up more in the hookup end of the spectrum. Is that true? Is that because of where you're at in your life right now, or is it the women that you're meeting, or like why do you feel like these relationship aspects aren't lasting as long as the hookups?
I'm gonna be straight real with you. I have the verge of potential to be on the hookup spectrum. I dibble dabble there at times, but meaningless sex sometimes gets boring. Like, as crazy as it sounds, but it gets boring. Like, there's no thrill in just smashing every chick. Like, it's not exciting no more, because emotionally it's doing nothing for me. You know, like, it's weird. Like, growing up, I used to enjoy the body count conversation, but then I got older and it's like, every chick ain't worth my time. You know, like, I have nothing but respect for all the beautiful queens in this world, but we're kings too, and I feel like at some point we got to be recognized for us being kings. And if we don't walk around with that respect and loyalty for ourselves, then, you know, we're going to continuously sleeping with peasants. That's not to throw shade to any woman, but that's just to show there's some type of distinction as to where I see myself and what I want in my life and what I'm not going to settle for. So, you know, I do like to have fun, but, you know, I want to have fun with just one instead of some.
Snooze. You know, listening now to a man speak, you know, you have women have a totally different perspective than most men, even though a lot of times women want to be equated to men, they don't want to be put on a different playing field. Like, for instance, a woman feels that if they want to have a one-night stand, it should be just as okay when a man has a one-night stand. You know, there should be no, well, she's a hoe and he's not a hoe. It should be, if you're a hoe, I'm a hoe. Or if you're not a hoe, I'm not a hoe.
Or we could just be two consenting adults just disagreeing.
Consent. I believe in consent. At the end of the day, I believe in consent.
No, we don't even got to be at night. It could be during the day, midday, breakfast,
in the
park,
in the park, you know.
All right, guys.
We just giving options, ladies.
Right. So, as far as you're concerned, how do you feel about hookups?
I mean, hookups can mean a lot of things, right? I've heard that definition for hookups is just making out with someone, right? Hooking up can be, you know, sealing the deal, licking the envelope, and, you know, closing it, right?
She's right. She's right.
Hey, this is true. Sometimes you gotta look at the seal the deal. I get it, Smooth. I get it.
I can't say that. So yeah, sorry guys. So I don't have a problem with the whole hooking up situation, as long as, you know, both parties know what's documented in the contract, right? If one person is expecting something that's different from what the other person is expecting, then that's when the problem happens, right? I think that before you have such situations, both parties need to talk to each other and say, look, this is what I want out of this. Do you want the same thing? And if that person says no, then it just shouldn't happen. Because if, you know, for example, if you guys are having a one-night stand and you don't want to take it anywhere else further than that, both parties gotta agree to that. Because then after a while, after that happens, if one person is like, well, I'm trying to have a relationship after this, and the other person doesn't want a relationship, then that's when problems happen, right? And that's when you guys bump heads, you clash and stuff like that. I feel like when certain situations like that, it's, you know, it's usually it's usually the women who are like, you know, after they have that one night stand, they're like, they try to get that guy to do more, like to have some type of communication, relationship, affection, and things like that. And the guy just really wasn't trying to do all that. Or it can even be vice versa. Maybe the guy's one who's catching feelings, and the girl was like, look, there was just a one thing, and I'm not trying to do all that.
You actually brought up a good point about communication. I think in whether you're having a hookup or a relationship, I think they're prime components in success. Whether you have a successful hookup or a successful relationship, communication is key. So that's very interesting. Zay, are you single?
I just want to say I never hooked up before either.
Oh, thank you, Susan. Are you single though?
I am single. I've been single for 5 years.
Wow, and you've never hooked up?
I have never hooked up once in my life.
That's powerful.
Why are you single?
Why am I single?
Not only why are you single, not only why are you single, but why also are you not why haven't you ever hooked up? Like, explain that. Has it been the people? Has it been you? Because there's a lot that goes into 5 years of
singleness.
No hookups. Singleness.
I think I'm single because I feel like I'm the type of girl that guys don't like. And when I say that, I mean I feel like it's hard to. Okay, the kind of girl I am is like, if we're speaking, then I'm only speaking to you, and that's it, right? And then if we're going on dates and stuff like that, I'm not on the first date. I'm not gonna kiss you. I'm probably not gonna hold your hand, and I'm not gonna be all affectionate with you. And that's only because it's just a first date. I don't know you like that, so I don't want to put all my feelings into that one night. And I feel like there are some guys out there, I'm not going to say all, but there are some guys out there who don't respect that. They want you to make out on the first night. They want you to do a whole bunch of stuff on the first night. Even when it comes to this holding hands, like if I don't feel comfortable holding your hand, then I don't think I should have to be, you know, persecuted for that, because I don't feel comfortable doing that. It's because, you know, you really need to find the right person that you want to do that with. You know, I'm the person who is all for love. If I love you, then I'm loving you till the day I die. And that's just, I don't think that there's a lot of people who share that same idea with me. And I think that's why I've been single for all these years, because the people that I have encountered have been the ones who wanted to just go a little too fast, and I'm not fast.
Pump brakes.
I'm not fast. I mean, I don't know.
That's fine. I mean, never apologize for who you are, what you believe in, and why you feel that way. You know, at the end of the day, as Taja said, that's beautiful. It is who you are. Zay, you have a pretty interesting love story. I'm not sure how comfortable you are with exposing it, but I think that it's very relevant to this conversation. Tell us a little bit about that experience and what it did to you as a man.
Wow.
I really.
These are things.
I was there.
Being that I was in a relationship for 8 years, guys.
8 years. Sorry. Just like she was single for 5, he was in for 8. I don't know which one's more crazy.
When you're in a relationship for that amount of time, especially at a young age, you kind of learn a lot about being a boyfriend, about yourself, about your significant other as you're growing up. Of course, as you get older, you start to believe in different things. Your significant other start to believe in different things. It can cause conflict, but it's a great process, a great journey to be on. Because obviously, if you're with somebody for 8 years, you love them. At least you should. But yeah, so in that 8 years, I learned a lot about love, period. About loving myself, about loving the person I was with. And of course, I'm not going to throw her name out there. But being with her for so long, it taught me so much about love, period. Things that she allowed me to do, she allowed me to be myself. And, you know, me learning the difference between what it means to lust for somebody and what it means to love somebody. So that was an interesting journey and interesting part of my life.
So what I really wanted you to get to is the fact that after 8 years of loving her, not saying that you don't love her anymore, obviously something happened that, you know, you did not expect her nor you. You know, that's just what it is. And now you are single, correct?
Yes.
Do you feel like you will love again? Do you feel like that tainted your version of love? Does that, you know what I mean? Like that was kind of.
I wouldn't say it tainted my version of love. Yes, I am gonna love again. Do I see myself loving anytime soon? No. And the reason my answer is no, because this generation as a whole plays too many games. And don't get me wrong, I've been known to play games myself, you know, but everybody
Like 2K.
now is afraid of getting hurt. So nobody wants to put their feelings out there, whether it's the first date, second date, third date, you know. Everybody is just about playing games right now. So I feel, especially it goes both ways with guys and girls. Guys want females to be the side chick. Females want guys to be the side nigga, as you would say. But it's just with the guys. I feel the reason guys play games with females is because the guys in this generation haven't grown up in the, let's say, the Bill Cosby household. And when I say that, you know, if you're familiar with the Cosby Show, he was in love with his wife, they was married, both had good careers, you know, raised a family. Guys in this generation don't grow up in a household like that anymore. So as Todd stated earlier, we growing up in single parent homes, so we don't know what it's like to be married or to treat our woman like a queen. You know, some of the guys in this generation is growing up in abused families, and not coming at anybody's family, but when you're a kid, you want to imitate what you see. So as you get older, you think it's okay to disrespect the female that you with. I wasn't brought up like that, and that's part of the reason why I was in a relationship for so long. She taught me how to love in an aspect where I want that again in my life, whether it's with her or another female. Do I think it could happen with her? I honestly don't know. Sometimes I wish it, sometimes I don't, but it taught me what love really meant. So it makes me want to get that part of life again, where that one person is getting on my nerves every single day, but I love the fact that that person is getting on my nerves every single day. Or when we sit there and look at each other and laugh for 20 minutes about, God knows what we laughing at, like I have no clue, but it's just that connection that we have. So I do think I will be in love again.
That was very heartfelt. I'm like back here like, wow, that's powerful. Nah, there's no shade, because, you know, love is a beautiful thing. I think it is. When I see or hear the stories, like I mentioned, there was couples who've been together for 30 plus years. It's like, yo, what have you guys been doing this whole time together? Like, to keep this love going, or what did you do to make it past those down times that I'm sure every relationship goes to make it, you know, to another year? Because I think that's a lot of what a lot of us this day and age we can't comprehend. And I say we, that doesn't mean I'm including us or anyone in that particular scenario, but we're talking about generalities here, where it's like we are so used to not quitting, but like getting out before something goes wrong to save ourselves before we the ones that get hurt. I kind of think what Zay was alluding to, instead of saying, I'm going to stick this through, and what I felt when I got in was what was real, so I'm going to, you know, fight for what I love. Destiny, tell us a little bit about your love life, your love experiences, and where you are right now with all of that. And like, is it something that you grew up seeing, so it encouraged that, or was something you didn't grow up seeing, so it made you want it? Like, what's your status?
Well, just to that last question that you just mentioned. So, I don't know, my parents, they were, you know, like, they were just with each other for like a year, and then like they had me, and like, but they've always both been in my life. So, you know, it's like both my parents have been there. I mean, it hasn't, you know, it's like they weren't in a relationship with, but they always, you know, they always said like, you know, I love that, you know, I love your mother. I'm not in love with her, obviously I'm not with her, but like, you know, you gotta find, they always want me to find someone that I could spend the rest of my life with, and that's, you know, that's what I want. I want a happy ending, you know, I want like, you know, the ideal like marriage, and like, you know, happy kids, happy life, you know, happy husband. And, you know, just for me to, like, you know, share my, you know, just share, you know, like, someone that could really, like, know me down to, like, you know, like the core, and just love me for everything that I am, because I will return that to them. And, you know, I don't know, just like with, you know, I kind of relate to Snooze on, like, so many levels, because I just don't give my energy, and, like, you know, I'm just very, like, just very selective with who I think I would be compatible with, and who I could really, like, see myself with in the long term, because I really just, I don't know, everybody's different, and, you know, everybody's supposed to meet their person. If, you know, you just got to be real with yourself. If you're not ready for a relationship and you just want to, like, you know, play the field, then that's fine. You know, that's totally fine. But you, like Snooze said, you got to let the other person know so that you guys are on the same page. And you know, I'm an intense person, so I just let people, like, you know, I observe first, and then, you know, I see how they are, and I just keep it to myself, and I'm like, okay, I know that that person's not for me, but this person is actually, like, into me and willing to, you know, like, you know, get to know me and want to go further with, like, you know, like, some type of connection, relationship. Then I'm gonna let them know I'm an intense person. I want all of you. I want everything, and you're gonna get that right back, because I'm a rider, and you know, just the person that I'm with right now, I'm riding with them, and, you know, I'm never gonna be the person that lets go. I hold on to, like, the handlebars fall off.
So I'm glad you actually, yes.
I respect the fact that you're a rider.
Yeah. Now I want to actually talk about this.
I agree with the. I'm selfish too in a relationship. I want you all to myself. You know, and I'm not saying I don't want you hanging out with your friends or your family. I'm talking about when you're with me, I want you to be with me. Yeah, like, I want to see every aspect of you. You know, whether it's your clown side, your moody side, your sad side. As your boyfriend, your guy, I have to figure out a way to deal with all of that. So if you crying for 2 minutes and then laughing for the next two, I have to figure out the in-between on what made you go from crying to laughing, or from laughing to crying, whether that has something to do with me or, you know, just something in general. So I definitely agree with that. I'm selfish. You selfish.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here and talk about the rider mentality.
Okay.
We've all, well, not we all, a lot of people have been in those relationships where they felt like they had to ride it out for the person they were with, when 9 out of 10 times the person that they're riding it out for wasn't worth the ride. They were indeed not worth it at all from the beginning, but you fell in love, or you thought this was the one. A lot of red flags went off, and because you were so deep in love, you didn't see it, or you believed that, one, you could either change them, which a lot of people try to do. You thought you could change them. You thought that, you know, the longer they were with you, they'd be different kind of people. And then as time went on, and you were riding it out, and then they either left you or something happened and you decided to leave them. At what point do you think is the right time to leave, or to stop riding for someone that you felt, I deserve, or they deserve me giving them my all? Because I have a lot of friends, I'm sure we all have a lot of friends, who we've seen in really, really bad relationships, but they're riding. They're riders. They're sticking it in. And then you're telling them, like, this is not that situation. You should not be on this horse. You know, save that for the right one. But how do we know, one, who's the right one and when it's the time to ride? Because when we're in love, we're blinded.
This is true. And I guess I'll touch on that first. As far as riding for someone, when do you know it's time to give it up? When you're no longer willing to go above and beyond for that person, I feel that's when it's time, you know, you should give it up. Whether that involves you guys sitting down having a talk, saying it's time for y'all to go separate ways, or whatever the case may be. But as you stated, when you're in love, truly in love with somebody, you're kind of blinded by love, and you would do anything for that person. And hopefully it's nothing crazy that you have to do, but, you know, you're willing to give that person your all. That means you won't hesitate to give that person your last dollar, your last quarter, whatever the case may be. As far as ride or die, some people are like that because that's the way they're brought up. So they're brought up by their father, their mother, brother, sister, that you make this work, especially if you put your all into it. Some people feel, I'm not going to give you 8 years of my life just to watch this relationship go down the drain. So if we lasted for 8 years, whatever problem we're going through at this moment, we can overcome that because we've overcome a lot in 8 years. You know, and it could be anything. And some people feel, I invested time in you, you invested time in me, so we have to make this work. Unless, no matter what, we have to make this work. So I think that's where the ride or die stance comes from. Upbringing, investing your time in people, seeing that that person truly loves you and you truly loves that person back, so y'all don't mind willing to fight for each other. I think that's where the ride or die aspect comes from.
You know, if I'm with you, then I'm going to help you out with whatever you want. And, you know, I think the time when I finally realized that the time when I realized that I wanted to leave was when I just was emotionally drained. Like it's like when a person can suck so much life out of you, and I felt like I was done. I was finished. That person was finished with me. That person actually broke up with me, and that was like after I had nothing more to give. I mean that, and I think that you never know when it's the time to leave until you know when it's the time to leave, or when that person cuts it off. Because I didn't know when it was time to go, because I was so in love. I was blinded by love, or what I thought was love. But,
can I make a comment and then answer the question right quick? I want to comment on something both of y'all said. One, I commend you. I wouldn't say that's extreme love. I consider that loyalty, because ideally, in your relationships, you know, it's a partnership. So whatever you lack, I'm right over your shoulder, sort of vibe, you know. So what you put out is what you was expected to get back if you were ever in that same predicament. So I don't ever want you to think that's extreme. I salute you on your loyalty all the way. To answer the question as far as when to know to leave, it goes back to what they said, but I disagree. The moment you start to feel like love is blind, it's done, because I don't want a love that blinds me, that makes me feel like I can look the other way to something I know morally I disagree with. You know, yes, I believe in forgiveness, but there comes a line of respect and disrespect. And the moment you look the other way to, like, you know what, I'm going to get over that, you're disrespecting yourself and what you morally feel. I want the love that actually opens my eyes, speak life and power into me. If I'm not able to do something, yo, babe, you can do that. I believe in you. If I'm only thinking about A, B, show me that there is a C that exists. Because I may be so focused here that you have more time on your hands to, you know what, see, actually, there's an option C. That's the kind of love I want, a love that opens my eyes and clears my vision. I was in a situation where my longest relationship was 4 years. I knew it was time for me to leave when I started to feel like all my efforts weren't good enough. Like, I knew where I was as a man. I knew where I was like as a man, and I knew where I was striving to be. But emotionally and mentally, she would make me feel as if like I'm not good enough. Like if she wanted a house, a ring, a car, and this, that, and the third, and I wasn't able to do that, then in return it's like, see, you're not really a man then, because at this point a man should have X, Y, Z. How you can define what I am as a man because of the monetary things that I currently have or the materialistic things that I lack. So that's when I knew it was time for me to go. It always hurts to leave, but you're doing yourself a favor in the long run, because it comes a point, do I love me more than I love them? And a lot of times what we have to do as people, separate the idea of being in love and being in love with the thought of what this person can be. Because you know the honeymoon phase, everything is sweet, everything is peaches and cream, you writing their name probably in your notebook, or they get a screensaver. Trust me, I've been there and it's cute and I love it, and I'm looking forward to feeling that again at some point. But we often get trapped in that, and we think we foresee what it could be if this feeling continues. So we allow the thought of what they can be when they're on their best behavior to distract us from who they are naturally. So,
well, that was a mouthful. For me, you know, I'm currently going through the longest time of being single that I've ever been in, which is pretty interesting for me, because in this time of being single, I've been able to really discover who I am as a person, what I like, what I want, what I won't tolerate, a lot of different things that I think you have to be single to find out, or you have to, you know, develop yourself and mature. My most recent relationships or love life went like this. I went through a lot of relationships where I thought I was in love. I thought this was love, what I feel, what I think, what I'm doing. This is what love must be. That was, you know, what I thought. And often I would be in a relationship and my partner, woman, would always say, you know, you don't love me like as much as I love you, or you think you love me but you don't really love me. And I would always be like, what does that even mean? Like, how can you tell me what my version of love is for you?
On the breast music. Don't be afraid to move a little closer. There's something about you that's making it. But excuse me, miss, I saw you from across the room, and I gotta admit that you got my attention. You're making me wanna say, oh.
Flavors of Chocolate coming to theaters and everything near you. We do not do baby showers, but we do her parties.
We create baby showers.
We create them.